Hey, what's good? Today we are going over something super important so that you can remove anything on your credit report. Collections, foreclosures, repossessions, charge-offs, you name it. If it's on your credit report, then this is one of the two things that you need to know and can answer to get your negative items removed. And so we're specifically going over what goes in that very first paragraph, the main body, the first paragraph, whatever it is that you want to call it. So we're not specifically going into dispute reasons today. I have tons of videos on those. We're just very specifically talking about that very first paragraph, okay? And I am recording my screen, so there is a little bit of a lag, all right? Now, before you write me off and this video off, let me explain to you why this matters, okay? Your first paragraph, your letter has to have very specific wording. So if you are putting in all this extra stuff, then guess what? They're going to either deem that it's a template or the system is just going to basically delete it from the database. I don't know if that really happens, but basically what I'm saying is that they are not going to do what you need them to do. And so everything that's in your letter, word for word, needs to belong there, okay? So I'm going to give you the 5 questions that you need to answer, as well as a couple of other things, including the links to the dispute letter creator, which is this that is on the screen, the anatomy of a dispute letter, which is this that is on your screen, the dispute flow, and we are going to talk about dispute reasons just a little bit, just for the purpose of understanding what goes into that first paragraph. And I'm also going to show you the done for you version of live letter. Now, this is important because live letter includes everything that you need to have a 100% or almost virtually 100% automated ability to do factual based disputes. Because if you don't know how to create that very first part of your dispute letter or even dispute reasons, it's all included for you. And you can very simply go and click on your options and in 2 clicks now with version 2.2, create a dispute letter in just a few seconds. But let's go back and look at our questions that we need to answer. Okay, so to create our dispute letter, we have to answer these 5 questions. Why are you writing this letter? What do you want the credit bureaus to do? Optionally, why does it matter? What outcome are you seeking? And are there previous issues to address? And I have a couple examples here, all right? So I found inaccuracies on my credit report that need to be fixed. Very straightforward. There's no pursuant to this, pursuant to that, blah, 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 Congress, no. You don't need to put any of that stuff in there because the key to removing your negative items is the actual dispute reasons that are attached to the accounts, not that first paragraph. But the first paragraph is very important because it needs to be very specific. This is what I want you to do, and this is why I'm writing the letter. Okay, outside of that, nothing else belongs in here. What outcome are you seeking? Please remove these accounts and update my credit report accordingly. And are there previous issues to address? Well, yeah, my last 3 letters seem to have been sent to Mars instead of your facility, so I've sent this one certified to ensure receipt. Now, I've had a couple of people in my coaching program this week, or technically it was last week, ask me, how do you write a bunch of different versions of this, right? Without using an article spinner or something like that, because obviously they do this as a business and they can't write the same thing over and over again, right? Especially for factual based disputes. So that is also what we're talking about here. So if we write, I found inaccuracies on my credit report that need to be fixed, we can then write something along the lines of, and this is just coming off the top of my head, so something along the lines of, these accounts are reported inaccurately and need to be removed, right? And what do you want the credit bureaus to do? I need for you to investigate these accounts and send me a new credit report reflecting these changes. I mean, it's really as simple as this. And you see how down in the preview right here, it's adding everything together for me. Now, optionally, why does it matter? Well, I normally don't fill this section in, and of course, I don't use this anyways, but when someone is using this, it'll allow them to, as a prompt, think about what it is that they want to add in here. But if I were to add something in here, I would probably say, I need to get a job, and my credit report and inaccuracies, if I can spell correctly today, are holding me back. So this is very important, right? I mean, it's just very straightforward, okay? Now, I could add probably 18 different columns here to the right that would continue to allow me to write this in multiple different fashions, right? What outcome are you seeking? Let's just say I was disputing late payments on here. So I could possibly say, I would like for you to send me copies of the bank statements belonging to these companies that would prove when I did or did not pay on time. Otherwise, they need to be updated to paid as agreed. Okay. Now you can also say, now what previous issues to address. This could be something as simple as you've ignored my previous responses, or you've ignored my requests for investigation, and I'm again sending this to your office, facility, whatever you want to put here, right? See, and then now, as you can see down here, this is your full first paragraph. There's nothing else that needs to go in here. You can even take out question 5. You could take out question 4. You can take out question 3, and you can literally just include these accounts are reported inaccurately, and I need for you to send me a new credit report. Just these 2 cells right here. That's it. These 2 sentences can make up your entire thing. You can literally just say, let's do something like this. These are inaccurate and need to be removed. And then you would go, account number 1, blah, 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 blah. Account number 2, blah, 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 blah. Account number 3, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Bob. Right? Your entire letter can be made up of that section right there. All right. So now let's go over and look at the anatomy of a dispute letter. So your main body, just as I mentioned, must include this information and is advised to keep it as short and simple as possible. While you're writing the letter, just as I mentioned, I'm writing this letter because you report inaccurate information. Where you found this information, that's another one. I pulled my report on Identity IQ yesterday. I ordered my free annual credit report, whatever it is. What you would like for them to do or to happen. I need you to do an independent investigation of these accounts included in this letter and send me a new credit report, and why it's important that this information is reflected accurately. And this would be good if you are planning to go to the CFPB. Now, the other parts, just as a side note, that you want to include are personal information, obviously, name, date of birth, address, social, today's date. I created this on 8/22/2020, so that's why that date is there. You cannot backdate. It is not going to do anything because the timing starts when your letter is received. It does not start 2 months prior to that. Then you have your accounts, and your accounts must go with the Agero formula. The Agero formula, I will show you that right now. That is going to be on the dispute reason creator, and you have the action, the justifier, the element, the reason, and optionally, the outcome that you would want, right? So this would be like delete this public record because the balance is inaccurate and reports as $500 on TransUnion, and 0 on the other 2 bureaus. And just so you know, the dispute reason creator adds all this together, your selections, and gives you your dispute reason, and then it also creates your full dispute reason, and then it'll add it with a preview over to your actual dispute letter in addition to your letter that you created. Okay. So, this is all pretty straightforward. There's a section for you to add your personal info into it, but this makes it easy for you to visualize what your dispute letter is going to look like, right? And then on the actual dispute letter, you would add in your name, your address, your date of birth, your full social, today's date. You would use the drop down to choose a bureau on here and add in your accounts on the dispute reason creator page itself, and that's it. You would click on print. So I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to show you how simple it is to create multiple versions of a dispute letter that all do not sound the same, but include the actual requirements of the dispute letter. Okay. So it is very, very important that you create this stuff and include it in your letter, because the system is looking for certain things and you do not want your letter to have those specific things, but the other things that it's looking for, such as why you are writing the letter to begin with, must be present. All right. And then as far as the actual, dispute reasons themselves, I have so many videos on this, but you're looking for things like the date last active, or the activity after the close date. You're looking at, as I mentioned, the date last active. You're looking for the date last paid. You're looking for whether the account was listed as in dispute, the required notice of dispute pursuant to section 623. You're looking at late payments and the payment history, so on and so forth. So I hope I am not overwhelming you. If I am overwhelming you, I do apologize, but these are the requirements of a dispute letter. And if you do want to check out Live Letter, I'm actually showing you version 2.2 that has almost full automation. It has 2 clicks and basically your entire letter is created. And yesterday I wrote the code for next round automation based on your first round automation. So it's really, really cool. There's probably going to be another maybe 5 versions built out in the next 4 weeks. But if you don't know how to create dispute letters or dispute reasons or write a dispute letter, or don't know what to say or how to say it or where to say it or any of that, then this is definitely something that you want to check out. And I'm going to drop those links down in the description as well. But if you want to see the current offer, you can just go to special.ask-kristen.com. It's going to be down in the description, or you can go to liveletter.ask-kristen.com and check out how you can create dispute letters in 10 seconds. And now, again, with version 2.2, it is less than 2 seconds in with just 2 clicks. You can go check this out. And the changelog as well as the roadmap is also featured over here as of yesterday. All right, so that is it for today. I'm going to get going. I have a call in about 30 seconds from now. And today we went over the anatomy of a dispute letter, the dispute flow, as well as another preview of Live Letter and the included dispute letters that are included in Live Letter, as well as the 5 questions that your dispute letter must answer. And again, my computer is catching up with me. The 5 questions that your dispute letter must answer to get results, as well as how to write multiple versions of said dispute letter if you're working with multiple clients. All right, so that is it for today. If you need my help, go head over to my740my740.com to schedule a call with me to see if I can take over your file and do it for you. And just so you know, this is a one-to-one custom service, and that is why I have you schedule a call, because I may be super awesome and I may wear a lot of hats, but I am only one person, and I need to know that I can help you, that it is ethical, you can afford it, and we are on the same page as far as expectations and how a credit sweep actually works. All right, so that is it. I'm gonna stop rambling now. I hope you have a great day. Check out the description for all the links that I mentioned, and I will see you later.